Hey guys, Teflex. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the accessories that I use with my M1 MacBook Pro to give me a better overall experience. Now, the first accessory I'm going to be talking about is actually an external SSD, and it's the Samsung T7. The base version that Apple has to offer for the M1 MacBook Pro and the M1 MacBook Air only has 256GB. And if you want to upgrade like from 256GB to 512GB, you have to spend extra $200. So I was kind of wondering, is it actually worth it to pay $200 just for 256GB of storage? So I went to Amazon, and that's where I came across this Samsung T7, and ever since I got this SSD, it has completely changed my workflow. The craziest thing about this SSD is that it's a terabyte and it still costs less than $200. Now, to get a terabyte on the M1 MacBook Pro, you have to spend extra $400. You have to make a decision on whether to go for internal storage or external storage, and this SSD is actually very fast. Now, I do use the Sony a7S III, and this Sony a7 III is capable of shooting 4K 120 FPS, and this SSD actually handles it very well. I do edit all my footage right from this SSD, and it has never slowed down on me or get too hot or something like that. Anyway, that's it for the Samsung T7. Now let's move on to the next accessory I want to talk about, and that is this keyboard right here. This is the Keychron K8 mechanical keyboard, and this keyboard is actually very fantastic. Now, I'm not really a big typing document type of guy. I mostly use this keyboard to edit my videos, but this keyboard is actually a very fantastic keyboard. Now, what I love most about this keyboard is actually the keys on it. The surface of the keys of this keyboard is actually very cool. It has like this curved surface that like matches the curved surface of your fingers. It's just very comfortable and very easy to type on, and I really love this keyboard. And not only that, as you can see, this is actually a wireless keyboard. Now, you can connect it to the M1 MacBook Pro using Bluetooth. You can also connect it to a M1 MacBook Pro with a cable, with a USB-C cable. And speaking of battery, on a full charge, this thing can last me like a week and a half, and if I don't really use it like that, it could last me like 2 weeks, and that is a fantastic battery life. This keyboard is both functional and fancy, and I kind of love that. Now, I already talked about the keyboard, so obviously I'm going to talk about the mouse. And the mouse I'm going to talk about is the Logitech MX Master 2S. Words cannot describe how amazing this mouse is. Like, this mouse is actually shaped in a way that it looks like it was perfectly made for your hand. Sometimes I feel like this is an extension of my hands that I never knew I needed. Like, anytime I'm using this mouse, it just feels comfortable. Sometimes I just put my hands on this mouse without even using it for video editing or something like that. And one thing I love about this mouse is, first of all, it's wireless, so you can connect it to your M1 MacBook Pro using Bluetooth, just like the keyboard. The only thing I would say I don't really like about this mouse is that it's not USB-C like the keyboard. The keyboard that I showed you the other time charges with USB-C. This one charges with micro USB. I mean, I'm not going to complain because the battery life on this thing is out of this world. Ever since I got this mouse, I've only charged it twice, and I've been using it for like 2 months now. So do the maths. Anyways, one thing I love about this keyboard is actually the scroll on top. It's so satisfying to see, and it's very efficient. There's also a scroll on the side. The side scroll actually is very useful. I use it for my video editing, and it makes my workflow so much better. Now, one more thing I want to say about this mouse is that you can connect it to 3 devices simultaneously. This mouse is actually very amazing. Now, the next accessory I want to talk about is the Sony WH-1000 Well, it doesn't have to be the Sony WH-1000 exactly. It could be the XM3. It could be any headphone brand for that matter. But the reason why I'm saying that is that audio is actually a very big part of any video or any project for that matter. And when it comes to like video editing or sound design, I don't think the speakers on the M1 MacBook Pro is going to give you the best results, and that is why I recommend any kind of headphone. The Sony WH-1000 is just my own taste. In fact, I did a review of this headphone in one of my videos, so if you want to check it out, I'm going to leave the link in the description box below. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I would appreciate if you can drop a like on this video. That's going to help my channel a lot. Anyways, the Sony XM4 is really fantastic. It's noise cancelling. The sound quality is also great, and that is one of the accessories that is making my workflow on the M1 MacBook Pro better when it comes to video editing. Now, the next accessory I want to talk about, which might actually be the last, is this adapter from Porgo. Now, this accessory is the most important of them all, probably the reason why I saved it for last. Now, one thing I never liked about my M1 MacBook Pro is that it only has 2 USB-C ports. 2 USB-C ports is just not enough for me because I mostly do video editing, as I've said so many times in this video, and I need one of them to charge the laptop, and sometimes I need to attach my camera, my SSD, my memory card. There are just so many things I want to attach to my M1 MacBook Pro at the same time, but 2 USB-C ports is just not enough for me. And this is where this adapter actually comes in, because now I have more than enough ports for all my accessories. I have 2 USB Type A, 2 USB Type C, one of them is Thunderbolt, 2 micro SD card slots, and 1 HDMI port. I mean, I just have more than enough ports for all my accessories, and this is why this is the most important accessory of all my accessory, and it's actually the cheapest of all the accessory, but it's the most important and the most life-changing. Anyways, those are the accessories that I use with my M1 MacBook Pro. I'm very sure that there are more accessories out there that people actually use to get a better experience with the M1 MacBook Pro, but for now, these are the accessories that is making my experience with the M1 MacBook Pro a little bit better. And as time goes on, I'm going to be discovering more accessories and I'm going to keep you guys updated. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys taking your time to watch my videos. If you like this video, you might want to consider dropping a like. If you're new here, my real name is Oluwabanjo Dukoya Paul, and on this channel I make tech unboxing, tech reviews, and I literally just talk about cool tech stuff. So if you're into that, you might not consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It's been your boy 11 on Tech Flex, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace. Money.